This is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Clay McLeod Chapman, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
All right. Never let it be said that we don't listen to our fans. This one's for you, Ray. Welcome back to another episode of Marvel Tales. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, the man whose arm I had to twist to do another Psylocke story. It is
Justin the Owl returning back to X-Land. Let's talk about one of my favorite ladies.
Mm-hmm. Big Psylocke story this time. Yes, it's from Uncanny X-Men 256 through 258. Again, it's the one where I guess we take Psylocke and turn her into an Asian woman.
Yes. A bit of a metamorphosis happens here. And this was a request from Ray.
Yep. So, we figured we squeeze this in since we're doing the other X-Men story, and that'll be your second one for this first week of September. Yes.
In this story, we see the metamorphosis. In the next story that we're going to cover, which takes place a couple of years later, we see the aftermath.
Mm-hmm. And if that wasn't enough, Wolverine's going through some stuff. And if that wasn't enough, it's in the middle of Acts of Vengeance, so we get the Mandarin.
There's a lot going on in these 3 issues.
Modern comics could never squeeze this much into just 3 issues. And
I had almost forgotten about the Phantom, Nick Fury, and Carol Danvers.
I know, me too.
Oh my god, I love it.
Oh yeah, and it's Claremont issues, so there's a lot of words on most pages.
Yes, there's a lot of dialogue. Yeah, especially when the bad guys are talking to each other.
It's like lots of words. Oh, Psylocke in a hot tub. Lots of words.
Yeah.
No, don't cover up that Jim Lee cleavage. No, never.
Yeah, don't cut that off. Yeah.
All right, so should we jump into these?
Yeah.
All right, we are at... Oh, nope, just a message from Justin. Okay.
Oh.
Hold on, there we go. All right. We are, like we said, start with Uncanny X-Men number 256 from December 1989. Oh, God. The key that breaks the lock with an E. Writer, of course, like I said, Chris Claremont, penciler Jim Lee, inker Scott Williams, colorist Glennis Oliver, letterer Tom Orzalski, and editor Bob Harris. Scroll down. In Hong Kong, Matsuo Tashirayaba approaches the Mandarin with an offer of alliance between his organization and the Hand, a ruthless clan of assassins. Matsuo's deal was for the Hand to help the Mandarin build an empire unparalleled by any in the past, in exchange for gainful employment in its service. To begin their alliance, Matsuo's offer is a gift, that of an ultimate assassin. This assassin is Psylocke. Oh yeah, and if there wasn't enough going on, what was it, like 4 or 5 issues previous, most of the X-Men went through the Siege Perilous, so they've been like thrown all over the world, most of them with like amnesia or whatever, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a rough patch for the X-Men. We also have Storm going through some crazy stuff where she's been reverted back to a child.
Oh, yes, thanks to Nanny, yeah.
Thanks to the machinations of Nanny and Orphan Maker.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of the X-Men are missing in action at this point.
Most of them are missing. I mean, it's basically Wolverine, whose healing factor is like conking out, and he's with Jubilee. That's pretty much it.
Yep.
Oh, and we'll see. You get a few scenes on Mirror Island, yeah.
Right. Yeah, Banshee and
Forge.
McTaggart and Forge. They're still holding down the fort over there. But yeah, for most intents and purposes, the X-Men are kind of disbanded at this point. They're all kind of scattered all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of acts of vengeance, too.
I know, it's so funny.
I love it. And I love the fact that the villain for this was the Mandarin. Because what a great choice for a villain for, well, not so much for the X-Men, but just for Wolverine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you've got that tie to Madripoor and all that other stuff. So it kind of makes sense that you could kind of dovetail all of that previous story stuff into a story involving the Hand and the Mandarin and what he was trying to do. But I have to say, the first time I read this, when it first came out, I was completely surprised with what they did to Psylocke, to my girl Betsy.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't mad about it. I was like, oh my God, what the hell? But I was surprised, like, wow, I wasn't expecting this. Is this really her? Like, is this a clone? Like, what happened here? Yeah, it was so cool. I was definitely
I wonder why.
By the mystery.
I wonder why they went in that direction, just like changing her. I mean,
I wondered too, because before this, as you know, she really didn't get into the physical side of the fighting that much.
Yeah,
she relied purely, pretty much on her telepathy. And she had that suit of armor to protect her from people like Sabretooth with their slashing claws and things. But she wasn't really like the hand-to-hand fighter that she obviously became with this metamorphosis. So I wonder if they wanted somebody that was a little bit more physically capable.
Maybe, yeah, more physically
physically
capable. And two, kids, from this point on, she'd be wearing quite the opposite of armor.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the bikini did not leave much to the imagination. Let's put it that way.
No. What follows next is a surrealistic dream sequence as Betsy relives details of her life, undergoes a physical transformation from British to Japanese at the hands of the Body Shop, with nightmarish versions of Spiral and Mojo causing the transformation, and her being set against her teammates, who she murders in order to obtain each of the Mandarin's 10 rings. In the end, Psylocke defeats Mandarin himself, who takes the form of Slaymaster, and it is revealed that the dream was a sensory deprivation brainwashing experiment that the Hand used to finalize their assimilation of Psylocke into their organization. In the end, she returns the rings to Mandarin, to whom she pledges her undying loyalty. No, but some of the notes on this is interesting. I mean, of course, we realize that this is part of Acts of Vengeance, although not directly tied towards the main plot line of the event, as so far as Matsuo and Mandarin's alliance taking place without Loki's involvement or knowledge. Oh, but this is, I just read this today. This is interesting. The story involving Psylocke becoming a thrall of the Hand was originally intended for Wolverine.
Ooh, no kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Neither did I. The notion of Wolverine as brainwashed would be resurrected several years later with the 12-part Enemy of the State, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. storyline.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, they eventually get to that. What was that like early 2000s? But yeah.
Didn't Apocalypse brainwash him too and turn him into death and all that stuff?
Yeah. Because remember, no one even knew he was missing because like a Skrull took his place. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
How that would have made this story so different.
Oh yeah.
If it was Wolverine. Wow. Yeah. I wonder what made the change at the last minute. Why they chose to make it Betsy instead of Logan.
The dream version of Havoc and Genosha, as well as Rogue and the Phantom, Miss Marvel fighting each other, would foreshadow their ultimate fates upon leaving the Siege Perilous. So yeah, that's what I wondered when I was reading this. I was like, was that her telepathy, like reaching out around the world, kind of like? Because I mean, she seemed to know where a bunch of them were, like Dazzler, Havoc,
and Colossus.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's what I thought too. The first time I read it, I was like, is this kind of like a Cerebro moment where she's glimpsing briefly where they are on the other sides of the world? But then when I saw her murdering them all, I was like, oh yeah. I guess not.
I know. But this story, it's good, but it's so funny just because it's like Acts of Vengeance, because it's just like, we need to slap Acts of Vengeance. We'll put the Mandarin in there. Okay,
that's right.
That's what they usually face. Okay, it's Acts of Vengeance.
Yeah. It counts. It still counts.
So I'm trying to remember if there's anyone else like that far off the beaten track. Like the only person I can think of is like the Hulk, but that's because he was like in Nevada. It's like,
oh right, yeah. He did have some stuff in Acts of Vengeance though, with the Grey Gargoyle.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that issue.
I think wasn't another one Mr. Hyde.
Technically, I don't think it was Acts of Vengeance, but yeah, it was around. It was like a couple months later, but yeah.
Right, yeah, that was good stuff.
So that happened, kids.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on this one, Phil?
I mean, it again, like I said, it was good, but it was just it was like all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, we have Psylocke. We like slapped her in this machine and stuff, and it's just we got this telepath working on her and stuff, and it's just like, wow, that's random. They're like, here, Mandarin, here's a gift, an assassin from Psylocke.
Yeah. I thought that the callback to Slaymaster,
yes,
was interesting because that was the villain who ripped her eyes out.
Yeah,
and her brother, when he found out, basically just killed him. He squashed his head with a rock. But I thought, wow, what a great way to mess with Betsy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was one of my favorite Joe Fixit ones, Ray. Yeah, the fight with Grey Gargoyle. Yeah,
love that one.
He just slaps
great
him around.
Artwork in that one too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I thought it was interesting too when they're just like, oh yeah, maybe we'll get right with Psylocke. What we got wrong with Elektra.
Oh. Well, not quite. It lasted for a couple of issues, but it's still got some perfecting to do with their brainwashing techniques, apparently.
Which the physical transformation too, it almost seems like, I know, Elektra wasn't Asian, but it almost seems like they were trying to move closer to the Elektra model.
Yeah, definitely an appearance for sure, with her costume and her hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And the fact that she eventually got those katana blades and things like Elektra had.
Ray says, oh geez, I forgot about Betsy's eyes. Yeah, Ray, she has eyes, okay?
Her eyes are up here.
Jeez,
yeah, that was brutal when her eyes were gouged out by that guy. I remember reading that story and thinking, oh my god, jeez, this is brutal stuff.
And Ray wants to know, has Psylocke ever gone against Elektra? Only in your dreams, Ray. Only in your dreams.
Well,
sex on the mind.
I bet it's happened.
Try to remember, did it? Yeah, I don't know. I know she was hanging out with Wolverine for a while in the 90s, but yeah, I don't know if she ever actually got in a fight with Psylocke or.
I wonder if during the Uncanny X-Force days, when they were acting kind of like a hit squad. I wonder if that.
Yeah, I mean, they were both on. I was gonna say they were both on versions of X-Force, but I don't think were they ever on the same team. I don't think.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'll have to check that out. But
I cannot remember. But yeah,
that would be quite a duel. The two of them dueling it out.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Yeah.
But that cover to 256 is so funny because she's like almost pretty much completely encased in armor, and it's just like, that's not going to last long.
Yeah, you wouldn't see this look last very long.
It's interesting,
and at first you wouldn't even know that that's Psylocke. Like if her name hadn't been on the cover, you might not have known that was her.
Or you wouldn't even know because I mean, again, like he would get out of that armor after a while, but it's like you wouldn't even know that's the Mandarin on the cover if his name wasn't on the cover because he's basically just wearing like a suit and stuff.
Yeah,
like a regular suit and tie and stuff. Yeah,
yeah. That was the first time that I ever saw the Mandarin just dressed in regular clothes. Mm-hmm. Any other time, he was always in either that blue and white armor that we saw for a long time in the Iron Man stuff, or that like the robes and stuff, the ancient looking robes that he was wearing for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, just on fighting skill, Ray, Elektra would win. I mean, but if Psylocke can use, telepathy or stuff or that psi knife, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Betsy would win. My money's on my girl, Betsy.
All right. Should we get to the next issue?
Yeah.
All right. So part number 2 from Uncanny X-Men 257, January 1990. Lady Mandarin. I was going to say same team. Claremont, Lee, inker Joseph Rubinstein this time. 2 letterers, Tom Morzalski and Chris Eliopoulos. Yeah, I think everyone else is the same here. In the service of the Hand and the Mandarin, the brainwashed Psylocke establishes herself as Lady Mandarin, re-establishing the Mandarin's control over the Hong Kong underworld. With that accomplished, her master, Matsuo Tashiyaba, orders her to take care of a potentially recently arrived enemy, Patch! Wolverine has come to Hong Kong with Jubilee's help, although he is still suffering from both his extensive injuries and from hallucinations. Yeah, because his healing factor is not quite what it was, kids.
Mm-hmm.
He and Jubilee visit Rose Wu, a friend of his working for Landau, Luckman, and Lake. While shopping, Jubilee and Rose's granddaughter are kidnapped by Psylocke. The ninjas later confront Wolverine. Logan has the upper hand in the battle until he recognizes his teammate, Psylocke. She uses his confusion to take him out. In Cairo, Illinois, Storm, changed into a prepubescent child, is on the run from both the police and the Shadow King, not remembering her life with the X-Men. On Mirror Island, Banshee, who feels a wrongness, asks Forge to install a backdoor into the defense system he's installing, so that they can slip back in undetected should something be wrong. Polaris fears that the wrongness is her fault. Before she can act on this, though, she is taken prisoner by the mentally unstable telepath Legion. Ray, wait, who's Patch? Wait, Wolverine's Patch? No way. Yeah, come on, Ray. This was written for you, Ray. Psylocke, Forge. Come on.
Yeah, this is some definite Forge in this era of X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray's glad to see her feeling better.
Oh yes, thank you, Ray. Yes. Feeling much better today.
Oh, okay. I was going to say the only note on this is I guess this is the first time we see Jubilee in that actual thing that's like, I guess passes as her costume, the yellow jacket.
The yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where she got that outfit.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I love Jubilee right from the beginning. I thought, my God, I love this girl. She's fantastic.
I like the attitude.
Yeah, definitely. I was a lot like her when I was a kid. So I resonated with her a lot. I was a little wise ass.
No. Forge
is very underrated.
Yes,
I agree with
yes.
you. I agree with you, Ray. Yes.
Because I was reading this, I'm like, we're going to have to do more of like this Jim Lee era and stuff. And yeah.
So good. And the Mark Silvestri right before it, too. I love that stuff.
But more of the Forge stuff. Yeah.
And Forge, too, appeared in X Factor for a while.
Yes. Yeah.
Was it...
Yeah, like towards the end of like that originals run. Yeah.
It was around issue 100, I think, wasn't it?
It's a little after maybe, but yeah. Because they kind of take Havoc out of it for a while, and I think Forge base kind of like becomes the leader almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed up the roster too. It was Forge and Wild Child, Mystique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a cool run of X Factor. We should cover some of that too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, there's a ton of X Factor we want to cover. Yeah, we're gonna go. Put that air on the list.
Yeah, we were just talking about that the other night.
We were putting some slots in there for X Factor next year, kids. So yeah, that might have to go in there. All right.
Yeah, there's so many to choose from. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree. We'll add some Forge to the roster for next year for sure. Did he ever have like a mini series or anything like that, like a solo?
Not that I can remember. Ray, do you remember Forge had a mini? Mirror Island Saga, Forge versus Reavers. Yeah, we'll do all that.
Yes, Forge versus the Reavers. That was a great one.
Mm-hmm.
He basically took most of them down by himself. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah, we'll have to do that era, like when they go back into space and when they bring Professor X back and, the whole thing with the final bout, the Shadow King and stuff. Yeah, we're going to have to do that.
Yeah, that's classic stuff right there. I love it.
What was it? Oh, yeah, next year, I believe we do have the Extinction Agenda on the schedule already. So
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be showing the love for the X books next year for sure.
Oh, yeah. A good bit of X books already on the schedule for next year. But yeah, this story is it's good, but it's like you get Psylocke looking way different. Wolverine's like in that black costume with like the red belt on it.
Yeah. I call that his ninja costume.
Yeah. We gotta do that too. Bang, you're dead. Yeah, issue 273, when Wolverine and Gambit are having their like training duel. Yeah.
Yes.
Bang, you dead.
Bang, you dead.
That's like right after the Extinction Agenda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is the. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Psylocke stands there while Jean Grey takes a shower. I remember that issue. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ray does too.
Very vividly.
I think he's gone, but all right. I'll hear this. All right.
I love how Logan can't even smoke a cigarette in this issue.
Oh yeah, and he's coughing.
He's on that skiff, and then he just starts hacking. He's like, so much for smoking. Healing factor can't cope with tobacco way it used to. He just drops the cigarette, and it lands on top of that ninja's head that's climbing up the side of the boat.
I know.
It's so good.
What's so funny? His thoughts. He's like, I never really gave death a thought. He's like, I guess I better start doing it.
Yeah. You might want to, Wolverine. You might want to.
Exactly.
This was a great cliffhanger, too, at the end of this.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, I get that he recognized her based on her scent, I guess. But when he clawed her mask off and saw her face and said, Psylocke? I thought, wait a minute, how would...
Yeah, that's what I was
How would
thinking.
you even know that was Betsy? I mean, she looks completely different.
Yeah, that's weird. It's like... is it the art too? Because sometimes I seem like her face kind of shifted. It's almost like... She looked like a completely different person than other times. It almost seemed like they tried to make her look like Betsy, just like with like Asian features or something. You know,
right.
It was just,
Yeah, like an amalgamation. Right.
I was waiting for, and again, it would have made the retcon later a little difficult, but Wolverine should have been like, wait a minute, you smell like Psylocke.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something actually that's referenced in the next story that we're going to cover in the next episode, the next Psylocke one.
Yeah.
He detects her scent in the woods when he's out and about wandering, but it's not Betsy. Yeah, I remember when I was rereading this, I remember thinking that was weird. How would he know that was her? Like, unless it was a scent thing. But his powers are kind of on the blink now.
Yeah.
So even that shouldn't have worked properly.
It would have been funny if one of the ninjas or somebody just yelled, "Take him, Psylocke!" And he was like, "Wait, Psylocke!
Wait a minute, Psylocke!" And then he sees the purple hair. He notices the purple hair.
Yeah.
He's like, well, wait, are you? How can it be?
I'm trying to remember. She was using that Psy blade before, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, she wasn't. I was going to say because I was trying to remember if she used that before or not.
Is this the first?
Okay. Because I was like, if I thought that if she used that before, that'd be a red herring. But okay.
Yeah. Before her power would manifest itself kind of like in a butterfly effect. Like it would be a pair of eyes. Right. And that was kind of how it showed itself. But I don't think she ever used her psychic powers in a physical capacity like that.
Mm-hmm. Wait, Ray said, just check to date, Forge, 369 appearances in comics, no solo series ever.
Dang. 369. That's amazing.
You're welcome, Lilith.
Either do the 6 or do the 9.
Yes.
Oh man, we might get a little Hellfire on the show if we're like, hey, hurry up, we're going to do a Forge episode. He has 369 appearances.
Yeah.
We'll cover his whatever his last appearance was.
I thought for sure there would have been a mini series or something.
It seemed like in the 90s they were giving almost all the X characters some kind of mini series. Yeah.
They gave North Star a 4-issue miniseries, for crying out loud. No love for Forge though. That's disappointing.
There was a Sabretooth and Mystique miniseries.
Yeah.
There was
a Psylocke and Angel miniseries, just the two of them. There was even a Colossus and Megan from Excalibur one shot. That they did in the late 90s. It was tied into Excalibur. They did all that stuff, and they couldn't even do a limited Forge series. Wow, that's really disappointing.
I know.
Thanks.
But yeah, there's so much X stuff we could cover. Oh my god, did you ever read Gambit's late 90s solo series?
No.
Oh, we got to cover some of that. Yes.
Was that good? Yeah.
Yes.
How long did that last for?
25 issues.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah. I think it was like 98 or 99. Yeah.
I'm kidding. Yeah, let's cover some of that too.
It was like some Steve Scarache art. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, Forge must have been in that, huh?
What?
In the Gambit series?
No. I'm trying to remember.
As a supporting.
I don't think. I know that. Well, of course, there was appearances from other, like Storm was in an issue. I know. Of course, Rogue shows up a couple times. I'm trying to remember. I mean, they kind of keep. You'd be surprised. They kind of kept it low key, like not a ton of X characters, like all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will say there is like a time travel. There is a time travel story in there too. Later on, yeah. Oh, the Executioner. Executioners.
Oh, yeah, the Executioner.
Yes.
Nice. I really like that guy.
Yeah.
I like that guy a lot, yeah.
All right. Should we jump to the last issue here?
Yeah.
All right. Let's
258.
Uncanny X-Men 258 from a mostly naked Wolverine versus this scene does not appear in this issue, and mostly naked Wolverine versus a fully armored Mandarin. All right, is Wolverine a biscuit or is he too hairy?
It's a little too hairy for my liking. Yeah, I'm not a fan of rug burns.
I mean, it almost looks like he's covered in soot. I mean, look at all that
hair. Yeah, that's a little bit too much for me to deal with.
From February 1990, Broken Chains. I guess they must have did a reprint of this issue at some point. Yeah. Because they've shown a different cover with Psylocke on it, but I guess some point they reprinted it. Yeah, Broken Chains. Might be the same. Yeah, same team as last time. Wolverine has been captured by the Hand, a mysterious ninja organization that works under the Mandarin. Susceptible to Psylocke's psychic powers of possession, will Wolverine be able to escape with his mind and body intact? Wolverine is in a state of stasis as the mind-controlled Psylocke monitors his psychic condition, which is not well. He is at a point of psychic despair as he is in a similar state to the state he was in during Weapon X. His bestial form is about to come out due to the circumstances. Jubilee is also captured by Matsuo Tashabayaba. After a brief escape attempt by Jubilee, which is foiled by the Mandarin, he also attacks Matsuo and the Hand as they attempt to command him around in his own house. Matsuo apologizes and is rebunked. On Mirror Island, Banshee Forge, Sharon Friedlander, and Moira McTaggart are training. All of them seem to be tired and wary of their situation. Lorna Dane is trapped in Proteus's old room and cannot escape as Legion has trapped her there. Back in Hong Kong, Jubilee is presented to Mandarin. Psylocke is still fiddling with Wolverine's mind, showing him phantom versions of Jean Grey, Mariko Yashida, and Yuiko. Wolverine defeats her in psychic combat and breaks free from the cage. After defeating him once more, Psylocke presents him to Mandarin, but Jubilee manages to get free. Psylocke reveals that it was all a ruse, and her and Jubilee attack Mandarin with the help of Wolverine. All three of them defeat Mandarin and get on a ship, sailing to an unknown location. Psylocke reveals her story as well. Oh yes, kids. And again, these issues were $1 a piece, so...
Back in the day.
Got your money's worth back then, kids.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a weird scene where, they present Jubilee to the Mandarin. I'm like, I'm assuming they wanted her. I'm assuming they painted her up as supposed to be like a geisha girl, but I swear she just looked like she was painted like a clown with like the big red cheeks and stuff.
Yeah. I know. Yeah,
it didn't say geisha to me. I'm just like, it looks like she was a clown or something.
Yeah. Well, the Mandarin was going on and on about how she had Chinese heritage and how she needed to be proud of it and how she needed to dress the part, you know what I mean? How she needed to be a traditional Chinese girl and all this stuff. And I love how the first thing that she does as soon as she gets trotted out in this garb and everything is she sticks her tongue right out the Mandarin in defiance. Oh, I love that so much.
I know. I was like, wait. I'm like, is she supposed to be like a servant for him or like a surrogate daughter? I mean, anything else is going to get kind of creepy here.
Yeah. Yeah. It would have been really gross to think beyond with that. Yeah.
Yes. But I was surprised, the very first issue, where, they had Psylocke fighting for the Mandarin's rings. Chris Claremont, I give you credit. I was so ready for that title to be Lord of the Rings.
One ring to rule them all.
10 rings.
Yeah, I forgot to mention in that first issue too how much I enjoyed the dream sequence when she was a kid with her brothers.
Oh yeah,
with Brian and Jamie. I really loved that. That was a nice callback because I don't think a lot of readers realize that she was naturally a blonde. Like,
I'd forgotten about that. I was like, oh yeah,
yeah. Her and Brian were twins, I think, and I think they were twins. But she was blonde for many years. Yeah. I loved that little bit because that was cool. A cool callback to when they were.
Yeah, that was a funny scene when Jamie's letting her drive the car and Jamie's girlfriend's in the car goes, slow down.
She's all falling and flailing around in the back seat. Yeah.
You're all crazy.
Yeah. I loved that. That was my favorite bit out of these 3 issues was that little dream sequence with her and her brothers. I thought that was so masterfully done.
Yeah.
So good.
And showing you again that, she was the adventurous one and Brian was like the bookworm and stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And that's kind of addressed too in this issue 258 where she's talking about how she could have been a Captain Britain and all this stuff. It should have been her. All this. I also loved how we see in the very beginning that horrific sequence where Wolverine's in the tank and Psylocke is working her psychic powers on him, and it looks like he's like mutating and turning into a feral beast in his visions in his mind. Like all these gross, nasty sores are like erupting all over his body, and he's turning into this nasty creature with just completely devoid of humanity. Like his humanity's completely gone. And there's that great double panel where you see like the vision in his mind, and then Psylocke in the panel right next to that is mimicking his motions, his physicality in the vision. She's mimicking it completely in real life. I love that those 2 panels next to each other. They were perfect.
But yeah, I love the callbacks to Weapon X, and I know we're going to be top heavy with mutants next year, but we have to do that Weapon X story from Marvel Comics Presents next year.
That's classic stuff. Yeah, we do have to.
Or unless we do. I hate to sit on good stuff, but I'm like maybe unless we just wait till Deadpool 3 comes out or something.
No, there'll be plenty of other stuff to cover.
What I was gonna say. Wait a minute. You mean there's more Wolverine stories we could do?
Wolverine and Deadpool together. Yeah.
But I mean, Wolverine doesn't appear a lot, does he?
Just a tad in the 90s.
And his own series and every X-Men since he joined the team. Yeah.
And guest appearances everywhere else. Yeah.
Especially in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we could do Weapon X next year.
Yeah. We could totally do that.
Oh, we should do? Oh, if we could do a whole Wolverine month. We could do Origin. We could do Weapon X.
We could. We could do some of that John Buscema and Chris Claremont at the beginning of that series.
Oh, yeah.
When he's in Madripoor as Patch. Yeah.
Once again, there's no shortage of Wolverine content.
That's right. Yeah.
How we could do Enemy of the State.
Yeah. And we can also do some of that stuff on Uncanny X-Force when he was leading that crew, because I didn't get to read a whole bunch of that, and I'd like to go back and revisit that stuff.
Oh yeah, because Psylocke was on there too. So yeah.
Psylocke, Archangel, Phantom X, Deadpool. That was a great little lineup of that crew.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, have to get there.
Yeah. This was great though because we get to see Wolverine kind of not indestructible for a change.
Yeah.
His healing factor was on the fritz. His powers were on the fritz. His claws were still working fine. But
he's basically getting poisoned by that adamantium skeleton.
Yeah. And he's slowly going crazy. He's essentially tripping balls. He's seeing Carol Danvers and Nick Fury, like phantoms of them in his mind, which Psylocke actually started seeing as well because she entered his mind with her psi knife and created a link between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's using a weakness as a strength, because she's like, I felt like Carol Danvers was actually punching me, and it's stuff.
I love that.
I know.
Yeah.
So you're a big Jubilee fan too, huh? You said.
Yeah. I love Jubilee. Yeah. I felt like she was kind of the youthful breath of fresh air that the X-Men needed at this time, because after the mutant massacre, there weren't really a lot of kids left in the group.
Oh yeah, and Kitty left and joined Excalibur. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I felt like, to me, she was very much the quintessential like late 80s, early 90s kid. Kind of like Boom Boom as well, from the Exterminators and X-Force. Sort of. Yeah, I loved her. I thought she was sassy and fun. And I liked her power, too. I thought her power to create those light explosions, firecracker things, was really cool. And she actually, like, when she freaked out in this issue, when she thought that Wolverine was dead.
Oh, yeah.
She actually just blew up the whole the Mandarin's house. So reading that for the first time back when I was a kid, I loved her even more. I thought, wow, she's got some serious power here. She's a force to be reckoned with. Mm-hmm. She's not just some little kid that can just distract people and be annoying. Like, she's really powerful. I love this girl.
Yeah, that was funny, because it's like Psylocke's like, well, that's not the opening we were going for, but I guess we got to go with that.
Yeah, it'll do, I guess. Yeah. And great art in this issue. Oh my gosh. Jim Lee was really at the top of his game here. So good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's classic Jim. Yeah, it's classic Jim Lee.
Yeah. From the dream sequence with Wolverine turning into the monster, to just like the design of the Lady Mandarin armor was really cool, because it's kind of evocative of the Mandarin's own armor that he was wearing at this time. Mm-hmm. But it's uniquely different as well. And the little subtle effects when Jubilee was using her powers, the inkers really did a good job in these issues too with that.
And I would assume, I guess for the redesign for the new Psylocke, I guess that was Jim Lee, I would think.
I think it was. Yeah.
I mean, maybe Claremont was like, oh, make her Asian, or I don't know if it was his idea, make her Asian, but the actual look, that was all Jim Lee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yep, one of his better designs, I would say.
Well, yeah, I think time bore that out, as that look lasted for how long. There's basically two Psylocks now, present day. But.
Yeah, but still, Quanon still looks the same. Like, that look is basically the same.
Oh yeah,
yeah. 30 some odd years later.
That's what I say. That's how you know. Like, it's a good look. It stands the test of time. Again, yeah, like I said, 30 years later, it's still here.
Yeah,
hell, over 30 years, it's still here.
I think all that they've really done with her costume is just change the colors a little bit. When she was in X-Force,
yeah,
and a couple of other things have changed the color pattern a little bit, but the costume has pretty much remained the same since then. Yeah.
I was going to say, they still keep the little bands around the one leg, don't they?
Yeah.
That's such a comic.
I always wondered what the purpose of that was.
I know. That's such a comic book thing. Like, I've seen that with male and females. It's like either got just like these bands around the leg for no reason, or arm or something. It's just there's no pouches on it or anything. So it's not even like you're sticking stuff in it. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, they just had some extra fabric and they needed to do something with it. So let's make some bands. It'll look really cool.
I know. It's like a weapon stuck in that or nothing. No, it's just like
yeah, maybe they're for hiding like granola bars and snacks and things.
Oh,
you never see these ninjas and superheroes eating on the go, and they get hungry.
Yeah, I guess, but
maybe they've got a Cliff Bar or something stashed up there.
I guess I was gonna say, but how much eating can you do when you're wearing that costume?
Yeah, right.
Although with that costume, I got to give it to them though. You see lots of leg and you see some butt cheek, but it's like, I'm surprised they didn't give her a boob window.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
She
never had a boob window here.
Again, it's 89, 90. I'm surprised we didn't go full.
No
boob
cleavage.
Window. Yeah.
No cleavage. Lots of leg, and lots of leg, but no cleavage. Yeah.
Well, not in this costume, but any other time it seems like there is, which we'll get to next episode.
Yes. Yes, you see a lot of cleavage in the next issues that we're going to talk about. And quite a radically different Betsy as well compared to what we've seen in these 3 issues. Wow.
I mean, we'll get there. I mean, I think that's Cyclops' weakness, telepaths with cleavage.
Oh, read my mind and show me your boobies.
Oh my god! There's a story. It's within the last couple years. It's during the Krakoa era. I think it was from the Marauders book. Like they like board this ship and they're like trying to take out like the whole crew. And they're like smugglers or something. And Emma Frost just like rips open her shirt and like they're all looking and she takes over the minds of the whole crew and she says,
while they're distracted.
Well, no. She says, what's easier to take over a big group's mind when they're all thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And it was all guys, so, it's all straight guys. So it's like, well, they're all thinking the same thing. So it was much easier to take over their minds.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Cyclops definitely has a thing for busty telepaths, doesn't he?
Yep. Hope Xavier never puts on any weight.
Keep him away from Cassandra Nova.
Oh yeah, I can't believe you didn't know about Cassandra Nova.
I did not know about Cassandra Nova, and I wish that I didn't. Oh my god, Stewie Griffin.
Again, it's from like that early 2000s era. It's again another present from Grant Morrison. So
yeah, he took the acid tab right on the eyeball right before he wrote that.
Oh yeah, he was smoking.
I'm gonna have them fighting in the womb and strangling each other with the umbilical cord. Oh god,
that's some ayahuasca or something. I don't know.
Something. He mainlined it, whatever it was, to come up with that idea.
Smoked a doobie.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame the doobie for that.
I know.
Definitely, that was some harder stuff that came up with that idea.
But that era, that's when they whole started with, they should look like the movie. So, that's when it was like 2000, 2001. So, of course, they all started wearing black leather suits,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That went on for a few years. Yeah. But I saw the pictures of her and I was like, oh my God, it's Stewie Griffin. Like, what is this? This is terrible. This is the reason why people think comic books are dumb. It's Cassandra Nova.
Yeah, she's
perfect example.
Literally, kids. I mean, it looks like it's a female Xavier.
Long lost evil twin sister of Charles Xavier that survived the womb. Like I can't. I can't.
I was gonna say we can
can't, and I won't.
Say we can cover that one day.
No, thank you.
Right.
Like Lord says, I do the Lord's work. I do the Lord's work. The other guy has dibs on that one.
Justin's like, that's all your love. Man, I was going to say, am I going to write into this? There's going to be just a few, but there's certain stories where you or Lilith won't touch them. Man, I'm going to find someone.
There's a handful, I'm sure.
I'm going to have to find someone with like no class at all, or no taste, and just review any garbage.
Sounds like a plan, Jan.
Talk some Grant Morrison Superman with Ray. Oh, God.
What?
From Grant Morrison Superman. Oh, talk about that with Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I don't know if either one of you would be able to make it through that one unscathed.
What, All-Star Superman?
Any of that Grant Morrison Superman. Ugh. No. Just no.
That's the thing. It's like Grant Morrison it's either like it's like a home run or it's just like,
yeah. I'll read his Doom Patrol. I'll read Animal Man, and some other stuff. Some of his Batman stuff.
JLA.
Yeah, JLA. Yes, but Superman, no, I won't touch that. No, I will not. Cassandra Nova and all that nonsense. Absolutely not.
I mean, I think he's admitted to doing stuff, but I'm just like, I guess maybe it's just whether he has a good trip or a bad trip,
Yeah.
Because, no matter whether it's good or bad, you always get stuff like, oh, they fell into a universe where there is no light, just music, or, something, I swear there was a story where it's like, oh, there was a one universe I went through where their light only moved at 22 miles an hour or something. And I'm like,
yes,
oh, my Lord.
Yeah. In this universe, everyone was a song.
Did you ever read DC 1 Million?
Oh, no, actually I didn't, but I remember reading about it. Was it good?
I mean, it went through every book. It was kind of trippy, basically just like they got a glimpse of the 853rd century.
Nice.
It basically, I guess they picked that number because it was like 1 million months from whatever. Oh, yeah, was it 98 or 99? But it was like 1 million months from that point or something.
Did they have flying cars yet?
They had. All the news and all your favorite programs were just like telepathic and stuff. Yeah. They fought
invade into the brain.
They fought an evil sentient sun.
Ooh,
like a star.
Cool.
Yeah, Solaris. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like I said, sometimes Grant Morrison, man, it's either shoot for the stars or
shoot for the
sewer.
Shoot for the pit. Flush it. Cassandra Nova, flush it.
I call you guilty. All right. Anyway, anything else?
No, I'm glad that Ray suggested these issues because I love them. I mean, obviously, I love Betsy, like everybody knows that, but this was an important turning point for her in so many ways because I think before this, people liked Psylocke and they thought she was a cool character, but after this, like she got real popular.
Oh yeah,
and I'm almost positive it was because of the sex appeal change, like that
didn't hurt.
I mean, it was pretty obvious, but I think that Chris Claremont took more time to develop her character some more, and I think that the readers definitely appreciated that. He made her more of a main character instead of kind of like a backup.
Yeah,
as I feel like she had been treated in the years prior to this, so. That made me happy. I was like, okay, Psylocke she's changed now, but she's getting the spotlight that I feel that she deserves in this book. So I'm all for it. Yeah.
Oh, hey, you almost let me get out of here without playing Ray's feedback.
Oh, yeah, we got to hear Ray's feedback.
That's right, kids. So, yes, Master Ray of every podcast you ever heard of, like Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast.
Yeah. To Know Her is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast.
Who should be very happy because Jessica Drew's getting her own solo book again here in a few months.
Yeah.
Ray. Yeah.
Nice.
Predator and Prey with a certain team, including someone here.
That's right.
And
now twice a month.
Yes. And he talks Scarlet Spider with me and Dave at the end of every month on Spidercast.
That's right.
All right. So. Oh, yeah, at some point hey, Ray, we might be doing some Tigra episodes next year or so. Gotcha!
I know he'll be into that.
I know. All right, kids, so here we go. So this man has podcast credentials, and he's an old man, so he read lots of comics. So, all right, here's his thoughts on this on these X-Men issues.
Hello, Phil, and hello, Justin. I thought I'd drop in some thoughts. An amazing turnaround. I think I requested the coverage of this arc of Psylocke turning into a hand assassin merely days ago, and here is the episode. So haven't had time to really reabsorb that fantastic little run in the 90s, so I'm just going off my memory when I read it 30 years ago. Look, I thought it was one of those runs, or the little story arcs that really kind of stuck with me. It was a little bit of a what the moment, having been familiar with Betsy Braddock as Psylocke in her purple armour, very British telepath. But we had the coming of Jim Lee, of course, and his amazing artwork. And this was, if I'm not mistaken, around the time of Acts of Vengeance as well. So it all tied into this fantastic, huge event that I was really enjoying, but was starting to really discover the likes of Jim Lee, who'd been around before anyway. I know he'd done some Punisher War Journal before, but he became a lot more prominent during his X-Men run. Anyway, with this story, a little bit weird. Again, details elude me, but the Hand can really just do anything, can't they? Bring people from the dead and apparently just remold Psylocke. It obviously had to do partly with the Siege Perilous, which was a prior arc where all the X-Men were deemed dead. They were stationed in Australia, but some of them went through the Siege Perilous and they come back with kind of like different lives. And so I think that's how, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean you guys are covering anyway, that's how Psylocke falls into the hands of the Hand, and she's moulded into an assassin, changing ethnicity as well. Why not? Bit of a revamp, changing her costume as well, just giving her the tried and true 90s bikini with a couple of sashes around the legs and the arms, for good measure. I really enjoyed it. What really stunned me was there was one towards the end. It's not the I think it's the last issue of the Acts of Vengeance where she fights. Wolverine's fighting the Mandarin, but he fights her, and she introduces her side blade, which I thought kind of like lobotomized Wolverine. He was kind of like gog-eyed at the end there. And so she turns out to be the victor, and we all know how tough Wolverine is, so I was like, wow, that's amazing. So you really enjoyed this. I'm keen to know what, Justin, your thoughts are with such a big change to one of your favourite characters. For me, again, I thought it was good. I always did like Psylocke, but I was just really kind of surprised. I wouldn't say, these days people would be up in arms, or you get all these terms thrown out about what writers are trying to do. I was surprised, but I wasn't terribly insulted or offended in any way by it. It was something different, but it'd be interesting to know, coming from a truer, a more devoted Psylocke fan such as yourself, Justin, what you would have thought. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait to listen. I might just tune in live sneakily at work to your YouTube broadcast. Anyway, keep it up, and keep it going.
That was
thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. That was Ray from the Loading Dock. Thank you very much.
I love that. Thank you, Ray.
I
as a true Psylocke fan, I love this. Like I said, it definitely got me fired up to see what they were going to do with the character next back in the day, and I was so happy to see that she had been given a more prominent role in the X-Men, especially going forward after this. It seemed like she was one of the main characters. Like, I felt like she should have been the whole time. So, yeah, very happy with all this.
Yeah, and I mean, past the obvious sex appeal, she did basically get a power and fighting skill upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah, huge upgrade. Definitely.
It's trained by the Hand.
Yeah, he's right. The Hand can pretty much do anything they want. They can raise people from the dead. They can change people's ethnicities. He's true, though. I wonder if this story was done now. I don't think that it would be as well received. I think people would be like, "What are they doing? Changing ethnicities?"
Yeah, do you think? Cries of the whole ethnic change and stuff. Cultural appropriation and stuff. Do you think?
Yeah. I think that if that were done today, I think it would be met with a much different reaction from the widespread reader base.
That's why I always wondered, why, if that's why they put Betsy back in her original body and stuff, and there's and again, there's both of them are still around, but it's why the original Betsy's back in her original British body and stuff.
Yeah, I wondered that too. If that was a way to kind of get the best of both characters and keep the elements that were good and kind of avoid any unnecessary controversy or difficult conversations. But yeah, I'm happy with what they've done with the character recently. I'm glad that she's back in her own body and she's Captain Britain and she's got an amazing new series and Quanen's still kicking around. She's still she's a member of a new team, I think, actually. Some type of X-Avengers thing.
Oh,
Uncanny Avengers.
it's basically Captain America and a bunch of X-Men, yeah.
Yeah. I think she's in that group.
Okay, I was gonna say it's either that one or I know they're doing like another Dark X-Men, but I think it's gonna be like Madeline Pryor and Havoc, Gambit, because a lot of the X-Men got taken out at the Hellfire Gala.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what Lilith said? I don't know if you were gonna read it or not, but coming in September, Lilith wanted to know. She's like, "Oh, I want to hear your and Justin's thoughts on Tony Stark is marrying Emma Frost."
Oh, really?
I guess it's like I don't know if it's like a political thing or so he get Krakoan citizenship or something. Yeah. I don't know. But it's going to be a thing where there's probably going to be 50 variant covers and stuff.
Oh God, yeah. It's Tony Stark and Emma Frost, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'm going to pass on that one.
Yeah, I mean, the Krakoa stuff was all right, but I think they've just been dragging it out way too long.
Yeah, it's not really for me. I tried to get into it, but it's so far removed from the X-Men stuff that I know. It's just...
Yeah.
And so much has happened in the last 30 years of the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so much has happened. Oh, God. Look at that.
You want some cleavage, Ray? There you go.
Yeah, wow. Yeesh. Well, that will be... I hope they signed their prenups. Let's put it that way.
That's the thing. Tony Stark's always throwing that fortune away, and it's like, I'll rebuild it later. I'll sell a couple patents. I'll be good.
I guarantee you the first thing that he did when he started dating her was install some psi blockers in his brain so she can't read his thoughts.
Yeah, except when they're in the bedroom. Okay, tonight. All right.
Then he turns them off.
Let me think you... All right, make me think you look like Scarlet Witch. Okay.
He gets a Madam Mask out, and he's one of her iron masks. He's like, here, put this on.
Can you pretend to be Jean? Can you pretend to be Jean Grey? Oh, come on! Like Cyclops never asked you to do that. Come on.
You should be used to that by now. You've got a red wig in that closet. I know you do.
All right. Anything else?
I think we covered it all.
Let's go on a high note.
Yeah.
All right, kids. So that again, first week of September. So you'll be getting another episode of Marvel Tales this week. Next time we'll do more Psylocke, X-Men 20 through 22.
That's right.
From that,
where we get to address more of this mystery.
Yep. Oh yeah. Was that transformation what we thought it was? Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
And then week 2. We're going to be doing a bunch of Silver Sable in the Wild Pack.
Yeah.
Yes. At the beginning of next week will be Silver Sable in the Wild Pack 1 through 3. And then the second episode that week will be Silver Sable in the Wild Pack 4 and 5. And then week 3 we'll do a bunch of West Coast Avengers. The first West Coast Avengers miniseries. And then the second episode will be the first couple issues from the ongoing 1 and 2. And then Vision Scarlet Witch number 2. And then... Because, Ultimate Spider-Cast will be back that last week of September when me, Ray, and Dave talk more Scarlet Spider. So, only one Marvel Tales that last week of September, but it'll be the Mighty Thor 433 through 436.
Which was Phil's pick.
Beginning of Eric Masterson as Thor. Yes.
Yeah, love it. So good.
Some good villains in there.
Yeah.
Annihilus, Absorbing Man, yeah.
Yeah, so good.
All right. So, so send us all your thoughts like Ray did. Or Ray, send us more thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise, the Patreon. All parts of Heroes Reborn are up on Patreon now.
Yeah.
So.
Join me in the Patreon Elite and you can listen to all of them.
You have all of... join Justin in the Patreon Elite along with Russell, Ray, and Moz. So, you have every drunken thought of Lilith Hellfires on Heroes Reborn, so... Go check that. All right, I got the final tally. And kids, Captain America did not come in last place for her.
Oh.
So tune in and find out which Heroes
Interesting.
Reborn series came in her as dead last. And yes, you would have thought it was going to be Captain America. It was not.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. I'm going to have to listen tomorrow and find out what it is.
See? All right. So, Mr. Justin, you're here. Well, usually once a week. In September here, we'll be here 3 of the 4 weeks, twice a month. Usually on We Are the Night, the Batman podcast, once a month. You'll be there every week in this September.
That's right.
And again, and we're going to have a Wondercast with Will and Ray coming up here, and lots of fun stuff.
And, Electric Mullet.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes. And now we are doing Electric Mullet twice a month with Mr. Tyler Patrick. Yes. So.
Yeah. The Superman podcast.
Yes. And if that's not enough, Justin we have a more podcast. So, Justin, what else do you do?
That's right. In addition to those, I co-host with my pal Russell Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, twice a month. We talk about everything to do with the Hulk and the She-Hulk. And we're covering in live episodes the brand new Incredible Hulk series by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein, which is excellent. If you haven't checked it out, do read it. We also have a Patreon, so check that out if you're so inclined. And in addition to that show, we co-host with our pals Ray and Sparky, Predator and Prey, a Yocha podcast in which we talk about everything to do with Fox's Predator in comic books, movies, action figures, and more. And last but certainly not least, the project that I've been talking about for the last year and a half, the Lost Library of Legends, my quote-unquote solo project. It's almost done. I just have to stop getting kidney stones so we can finish it. To be terribly blunt, yeah, I was almost done, and then I got sidelined by some health malaise, which took me out of the picture for a few days.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, it sure did.
Yeah, come on, take care of yourself. What was that cranberry juice you're drinking?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, come on. I lost one co-host this year. I don't need to lose anybody else, okay?
I'm taking care of myself, trust me.
Good. I figured if anyone took care of that region, it was you, okay?
Scream at!
Yeah, I was doing.
He was screaming when they were looking at these stuff. Yeah. All right, kids. Wow, what a way to end this episode. All right, yeah, come back next in a few days for X-Men 20 through 22, and then next week we'll do all that Silver Sable.
Yeah, send in your thoughts.
That's going to be quite the refresher for me. I was looking at some of those covers today. I was like, oh, yeah, the cover with her, the jetpack on. I'm like, oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Hot girl summer here. All right, come back next time.